Hello and welcome to this new video. Today we delve into one of the most significant electoral cases currently pending before the India's Supreme Court, the Bihar Special Intensive Revision case, a legal battle that strikes at the heart of democratic participation and voting rights. This case centers on the Election Commission of India's controversial decision to conduct a massive overhaul of Bihar's voter rolls, affecting millions of citizens in the state scheduled for the assembly elections. On June 24, 2025, the Election Commission of India issued a directive ordering a special intensive revision of electoral rolls in Bihar ahead of the state's assembly elections. This exercise targeted Bihar's electoral database of approximately 7.9 crore registered voters, with the ECI claiming the revision was necessary due to concerns over accuracy of existing rolls that had not been intensively revised in nearly 2 decades. The timing raised immediate concerns. The revision was announced just months before Bihar's scheduled November assembly elections, creating what critics called an impossible timeline for voters to comply with new requirements. The scale of exclusion, the magnitude of the SIR exercise became clear when the draft of electoral roll was published on August 1, 2025. The shocking revelation that 65 lakh voters had been excluded from the updated list. According to the Election Commission's breakdown, 22 lakh were declared dead, 36 lakh were said to have permanently migrated to other states, and additional voters were categorized as duplicates. The constitutional challenge was spearheaded by a diverse coalition of petitioners. The Association for Democratic Reforms, led by Advocate Prashant Bhushan, filed the primary petition. They were joined by Rashtriya Janata Dal MP Manoj Jha, Trinamool Congress MP Mahua Moitra, People's Union for Civil Liberties, political activist Sri Yogendra Yadav, Congress leader K.C. Venugopal, and former Bihar MLA Mujahid Alam. The petitioners argued that the SIR directive violated fundamental rights under Article 14, 19, 21, 325, and 326 of the Constitution, as well as the provisions of the Representation of Peoples Act 1950. Their core contention: the exercise could arbitrarily and without due process disenfranchise lakhs of voters from electing their representatives, thereby disrupting free and fair elections and democracy. This case has been consistently heard by a division bench of the Honorable Supreme Court comprising of Honorable Justice Suryakant and Honorable Justice Joymalya Bagchi. The Supreme Court proceedings have unfolded across multiple critical hearing dates. July 10, 2025, initial hearing where the court declined to stay the revision process but urged the ECI to consider Aadhaar, EPIC, and ration cards as valid documents. July 28, 2025, the court refused to stop the publication of the draft voter list but made a crucial observation: if there are mass exclusion, we will immediately step in. August 1, 2025, draft electoral rolls published, revealing the exclusion of 65 lakh voters. August 12 to 13, 2025, intensive hearings where the petitioner presented evidence of irregularities and the court expressed concerns about transparency. August 14, 2025, landmark interim order directing the ECI to publish the list of excluded voters with specific reasons for deletion. Throughout the hearings, the Supreme Court bench made several pointed observations that highlighted concerns about the process. On transparency, Justice Suryakant emphasized if Poonam Devi has been omitted, Poonam Devi must be able to know that she has been deleted and why she has been deleted. The court stressed that transparency will help create voter confidence. On trust deficit, the court noted a trust deficit between the Election Commission and opposition parties, describing it as the root of the controversy. On political party inaction, the Supreme Court expressed surprise at political parties' lack of involvement in helping excluded voters, stating, "We are only surprised by the inaction of political parties. After appointing booth level agents, what are they doing? Why is there a distance between people and local political persons?" On voters' rights, Justice Joymallo Bagchi emphasized a citizen's fundamental right to know why they have been deleted from the voter list. A significant aspect of the case involved the ECI's refusal to accept Aadhaar cards as valid proof of identity. The petitioners argued this was patently absurd, given that Aadhaar is widely accepted for obtaining other identity documents. The Supreme Court sided with the petitioners on this issue. On August 21, 2025, the court definitely ruled that the Election Commission must accept Aadhaar cards as one of the acceptable documents for voter re-inclusion. The court's August 14, 2025 interim order marked a turning point. The bench directed the ECI to publish district-wise list of all 65 lakh excluded voters on its official websites, specify exact reasons for each deletion, death, migration, or duplicate registration, display booth-wise list at panchayat offices and block development offices, conduct wide publicity through newspapers, radio, and television, accept Aadhaar cards as valid proof for re-inclusion applications. Following the Supreme Court's orders, the ECI published the list of excluded voters on August 17, 2025. Bihar's chief electoral officer stated that the list included details such as name, epic number, father's name, and reasons for deletion searchable by epic number. The court's August 21, 2025 hearing produced comprehensive directions that significantly expanded voter inclusion mechanism. Online applications. The court allowed excluded voters to submit applications online, not just physically. Aadhaar acceptance definitively ruled that Aadhaar cards must be accepted alongside the existing 11 documents. Political parties' involvement directed 12 major political parties to assist voters in filing application. September 1 deadline set September 1, 2025 as the cutoff date for filing inclusion applications. Acknowledgement receipts mandated that officials provide acknowledgement receipts where forms are submitted. This case represents more than a dispute over voter rolls. It embodies fundamental questions about electoral integrity, due process, and the balance between administrative efficiency and democratic inclusion. The Supreme Court's interventions have established important precedents. Transparency requirement. Election authorities must provide clear, accessible information about the voter deletions. Inclusive documentation. Widely held documents like the Aadhaar card must be accepted for voter verification. Political party responsibility. Parties have an obligation to assist voters beyond mere political posturing. Judicial oversight. Courts will intervene decisively when mass disenfranchisement is threatened. The Bihar SIR case before the Supreme Court represents a critical test of India's democratic institutions. Through its interventions, the court has sought to balance the Election Commission's administrative authority with fundamental voting rights. The case underscores that in a democracy, the right to vote is not merely procedural but fundamental to the constitutional scheme. As the September 8 hearing approaches, this case will continue to shape the contours of electoral democracy in India, establishing precedents for future voter roll revisions and reaffirming that transparency and inclusion must remain paramount in any electoral process. The ultimate resolution of this case will determine not just the electoral fate of Bihar's voters, but the broader trajectory of democratic participation and electoral integrity across India. That's all for today. This is Dr. Arjun Chowdhury, advocate. Until next time, Jai Hind.